For the past several years, the fiery speeches of Malcolm X on behalf of the black Muslim movement have made headlines again and again. But Malcolm X startled the whole world last October when from Mecca itself he renounced black racism and denounced his former leader, Elijah Muhammad, as a religious faker. Tonight we present the dynamic and controversial Negro leader himself, Malcolm X.
Another Hidden Challenger panel, and this time you're going after an international story. Gordon, may we start with you this time, please? 3 minutes.
The story happened on a continent beginning and ending with the letter A.
Yes.
Was that Asia?
Yes.
Was it east of India?
No.
Was it in India?
No.
Was it west of India?
Yes.
So was it up in the Persian area?
No.
Was it around the Holy Land?
Yes.
Has this to do with one of these Arab uprisings? Something in the Arabian country?
Which question?
Arab uprising, let's deal with that one.
No.
In an Arabian country?
Yes.
Was it Saudi Arabia?
Yes.
Was it the throning of the new king?
No.
Was it within the past 3 years?
Yes.
Was it in 1964?
Yes.
Well, there was a new king there. One abdicated. There was an airplane crash with a lot of diamonds spread around in the sands. They discovered a little more oil. They bought 17 more Rolls Royces, and they married 406 more wives. Any of those stories?
No.
Pass to Betty.
Thanks a lot. I think you covered them all. All right, is this a happy story?
Yes.
Is there any record or achievement involved?
I don't know.
Is there any money involved?
No.
Are you the central figure of the story?
Yes.
Are you a political figure?
No.
Are you a military figure?
No.
I don't know why that's getting a chuckle, but it is. Is there any loss of life in the story? You've talked of this being some kind of achievement, but is there any unpleasant aspect to the story?
Partly.
Partly. Pass to you, Charles.
Well, were there any violence involved?
Partly.
Partly. Were you involved in the violence?
No.
Was it of a military nature?
No.
Was it a raid of some kind?
No.
Did you get kidnapped or taken away in some, abducted in some way?
No.
Had it to do with a sports event? Did you involve
No.
yourself? Nothing like that. Well, you're giving us trouble here. Was there some exploration involved?
Somewhat.
Exploration.
Partly.
Were you looking for oil, say?
No.
You were not, but this got a chuckle also. Did you fall heir to a lot of money?
No.
Did you take some money off somebody else through some legal proceeding?
No.
Is this an archaeological story?
No.
Is there any political aspect to it?
Partly.
There's partly a political aspect. Is a discovery of some sort involved?
Yes.
Is a crime of some sort involved?
Partly.
Partly a crime, partly a discovery. Saudi Arabia.
There is an element to this story geographically that you couldn't hope to understand without exploring some other areas, which is giving you the trouble.
There's Yemen, there's Aden, there's the Bible.
It just our guests made, in effect, this announcement from this particular place, but if you'd connected the United States, perhaps you would have gotten a little closer to it. But you will understand when you see our guest, Mr. Malcolm X, and the story is Malcolm Rejects Racist Doctrine in Mecca. There was no way of getting you back on the track without giving it away. We knew the story would give you trouble, and it did, and we want to talk with our guest in just a moment. We'll do that, but first this message from the makers of Du Maurier cigarettes.
In sharp contrast to the goal of integration sought by such civil rights leaders as Dr. Martin Luther King has been the goal of black nationalism espoused by the black Muslim movement in America. In recent years, growing crowds have listened to the argument that the Negro in America can never find justice in a society dominated by whites. Leader absolute of the black Muslims is Elijah Muhammad, the messenger of Allah. He has led and spoken for the movement since its early days, some 30 years ago. But in the last few years, the most dynamic and prominent black Muslim spokesman has been Malcolm X. A year ago, a rift developed between Elijah Muhammad and Malcolm X, and the fiery Malcolm X quit Elijah's movement. After announcing his intention of starting a black nationalist party, Malcolm X traveled to Mecca, there to study with the ranking scholars of Islam and to work with the Muslim World League. In October, in 2 letters from Saudi Arabia, Malcolm X rejected the philosophy of black racism and called Elijah Muhammad a religious faker. Tonight, Front Page Challenge welcomes the outspoken Negro leader, Malcolm X.
Sir, what's the real reason why you two men split? Is it merely ideological, or is it personality? What else?
Probably personality. It was not the statement that originally was given by the movement when we split. It's more personality than anything else.
You've called people like Martin Luther King, who just got a Nobel Peace Prize, an Uncle Tom. Is this correct, first?
Well, I'd rather say that in the States, there's a law that has recently been passed, or a decision handed down by the court, wherein if you call someone an Uncle Tom, they can sue you for libel.
Well,
so I never refer to them as Uncle Toms. I would say that Uncle Martin is my friend.
Uncle Martin is your friend, yet you would disagree with his approach to what he wants to accomplish.
Definitely. If his approach would bring about what the black man in America needs to completely eliminate the problem that we have, I would say well and good. But I very much doubt that anyone who adopts the approach that Martin Luther King has been teaching to our people in that country can point to any meaningful gains that has actually served to solve the problem.
Black Muslims have sometimes, whether you have or not, and I think probably you have sometimes, it seemed to me, been preaching hate to meet hate.
I don't advocate any kind of hate.
But there's a lot of talk that sounds very